it has been a great journey for all of us, right from the start of, from where we started last year, and the entire formation of ATMA, the application in the MDA process of what we all have gone through and reached at this stage of the ATMA, and they all hats off to only one person among us. That person who went on, to be a board member of the LTA. It's a great achievement in himself, and somebody from us and from India to be on that board is really sets a fun for us. And all technical analysis in India is what I should say. And I really want Mr. Sushil Giria to come here and tell us the experience he had in US, the kind of view or the kind of the thoughts of what US people conceive about Indians as a technical analyst or the overall Indian market as such, and share his experience over there and what he feels and the kind of sense and pride he gets after taking ATMA to such a level at this moment. Sushil, I call you upon here, share all your experience in US.
I have had much richer experiences in India and often at Wisdom. I can tell you honestly, Vishal, thank you very much for being generous with words. I really don't think, between colleagues, meet often this is really called for, but still, many thanks. See, the agenda for which we assembled today is hearing a great speaker, a great achiever, and an excellent human being amongst us. So to let the agenda of the day proceed what it has been meant to be, I like to keep this very brief and to share all the experiences is something, not feasible in a very brief time, but I'll probably tell you. See, not just in the universe of technical analysis, but universally across every field of achievement, India is currently getting looked upon world over. And to that effect, the growth numbers that have come in MTA, though starting from a zero base, they are aggressive in the beginning. But more so, the potential, the coming future, things like when you go to Google Trends and just search for technical analysis, and the largest number of hits on that subject, or even on algorithmic trading or on any trading related subject, comes from India. So in US, where this time at the symposium, there were representatives from a very large number of countries, in fact the most widely attended symposium so far in MTA. Of course, there's a lot of hope and looking forward to the kind of growth that can come from India. This trip became especially enjoyable when I could present, copies of the first book on technical analysis published in India by two senior technicians who are both members of the ATMA, and one of them today is going to be your speaker. He's the co-author of the first book published on the subject in India. Very nicely printed book, and the general vision of people out there maybe, it will be rough paper, or it will be very graphy binding. So one of the most eloquently presented books, and one indeed felt happy sharing with people. In terms of any original research or indicators or tools to come out from India and from Indians sort of making their name, that is yet due. But then looking at our history of being formally organized, we're pretty young, pretty young, and within say about a year's existence, we currently account for about 5% of the MTA membership and keeping growing rapidly. So this growth momentum is making us getting looked upon at. Lots of the world famous technicians are keen to travel into India, to come by at our meetings, to do stuff with us together. Now, while it is not difficult to excite them, and at least that is one thing I can do reasonably well given the fundamentals of India now ahead of us, in terms of converting that into reality, we'll have to get more organized. And I really don't feel happy when colleagues like Vishal or others describe it as a one-man effort or a one-man army, because that's what not the goal was, and that cannot remain the goal. Nothing that is taken over by a zealous force can sustain. So while many of us are impassioned, many of us are interested, maybe we guys who have initially come forward to try and put this together should take on that as a personal responsibility of not having been able to coalesce this into a very strong and large team. And that clearly remains the key agenda for now. Because see, from the idea of a few people, and it has been an idea of a few people every year for the last 20 years. And ATMA has taken shape, but there have been earlier other efforts and they did not sustain. The real differentiator between an idea and an institution is that there has to be a wider ownership. So while we are having a growth in membership at a reasonably rapid pace, I think the ownership needs to get stronger. Even if you are able to or not able to give your time for any initiatives, your curiosity in why something is happening here, why something is not happening here, why something should happen here. Continue to look yourselves as dispassionate passers-by, mere members. This won't become an institution. But if of the 227 members we have today, they all become owners, where they seek accountability for those who are taking positions. I'll be very honest with you, I have a dysfunctional board. For all the talking we do, very few are able to find time to even give professional replies. And I'll take that as my personal failure in not having been able to reach out enough to the entire wider mass. So while things are good and they are inspiring and one can paint a nice clean picture that we had a great time in the US, actually I was pretty worried there, that all of these huge expectations they have, the huge expectational picture I've created here, what is the real delivery happening? Well, the real delivery that has one happened is I really want this house, even though not fully occupied, to seriously, raise a hand in praise and clap hard for this 10th meeting that has been single-handedly achieved by Niyati, who works for ATMA. She's been a very I hope that this class persists a little more, despite her younger days, lack of much deep experience, need for a lot of hand-holding. One thing that has been fabulous about her is that she's an exceptional hard worker. So going forward, as we add some more people who have this trait,